Well, hello my friends, I hope that you are doing well. It is Monday 13 January and guess what? I finished, or rather, I have my first completed canvas of 2025. Yay! So it is the mystery advent calendar that I DIY'd myself with a mystery kit. I will do a very short post review on that, but I want to keep it separate because that's a spoiler one. So anyone that has that mystery kit, I don't want you to see it if you have it in your stash that doesn't want to see beforehand what it is. So I want to kit down that canvases containers that I used and save all the spare drills, and I'm saying this because I'm going to refer to this in my post review. So you'll see now how many drills are left over of that canvas. So that is a Diamond Art Club canvas. I keep all my resin drills as spares. Sometimes I wonder why. I think if my box becomes too full, then I'm just gonna start like throwing them away or whatever. But I don't keep acrylics and I don't keep, like, you know, those coaster sets and budget friendly little thingies, keychains and whatever. There are drills that come with them. But I do keep Diamond Art Club, because you never know. And in this kit there's colors that I haven't worked with yet, so I think a lot of them might need new baggies. So before we get into this, I just want to ask you kindly if you would leave me a thumbs up before you leave this video, and also if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. So this is going to be a key down on chat. I haven't done that in a while. I wanted to do this with you guys, so I think this is the right time. And also I want to tell that a new event is starting on Wednesday the 15th. So the next video I want to do an unboxing of that one. And that is the reason why I want these containers, because I've mentioned before, this is my biggest container. I love it. It's pink, it's hard cover case, and it comes with a second layer. So I've only used one layer, but this is one of my favorite containers to use. So let me take out all of the accessories that I used. So obviously I started in December with that one. So I used my Bistro Blanks pen for Christmas. A Christmas theme. That's so pretty, isn't it? The gold. So tweezers, let me put all of this aside, and I just use like a basic pen. You can see I don't multi-place with that, and it's blank, it's just for pushing the drills. And then let's get started. I'm going to, this is a Bella Art Nicole tray. I love this one. It has like a ombre effect with the blue and green. It's one of my favorite trays. It's quite big and nice, so I'm just using it as a backup if I spill some drills. Yeah, so let's start with this one. So normally with a whip and chat you take out your own whip and you work on it and you don't really look at what I'm doing, so I'm not going to zoom in so that you can see this. You've already seen this. Go and check out my playlist for my very chaotic, unorganized box for square drills. So I still need to do one for rounds. I keep it in a file at the moment, but let's just work with what we have at the moment, because I really want to start getting up that one. But the sooner I get this open, I can start with that diamond painting. Yes. Okay, so 113 I think I'm not going to have. Like I say, this canvas was super colorful and I don't have most of the colors. See, I have 117. Okay, so I have a lot of baggies. I am busy sorting out my craft room. I'm trying to get it more organized now where everything is. So I have a lot of baggies there, a lot of baggies there. I just pop them in any sort of bag that I can store away. This one has a zip. Let's take a look. I'm just going to take one of these. You know those baggies that you get with any kit? Let's just work with these because they look a little bit smaller, and I think that will work for most of these because it's very little that's left. Okay. Yeah, so we haven't chatted in a while, and that's because my life is chaos at the moment. Sure, you guys know that I resigned my third job. When was it? End of September. This is why I have my tweezers and they are not sharp. I actually don't like the sharp ones so that I don't have problems with scratching. This is my very first pair of tweezers, guys. Diamond Art Club. It's yeah. So anyway, guys, always going off track. Yeah, it's again, I'm gonna tell you now why I keep going off track. This is improv, my weapon chats. I don't work off notes. I like to be a genuine person. I'm very fussy when it comes to what diamond painting YouTube videos I watch myself, and I don't like when something seems commercial, meaning a lot of editing. You don't need to see that. All I need to see is the DMC code. So I'm just cutting that off and I'm going to put it on the baggie. And for the purposes of this video, and because this case is not organized at the moment, I'm just going to put it in here. So anyway, guys, yeah, so I quit my job, and for a month I was doing applications in October, and I actually went on an interview. Well, I had 2 interviews, I think, but one that I really liked, and it sort of broke me, if I can say it like that. It was 3 rounds of interviews. Now, if you have 3 rounds, you would think that, wow, I'm going to get the job. And then I didn't. They told me I'm overqualified. Now, I'm sorry for my French language. That pissed me off, because telling someone they're overqualified for a position is something you can see from the CV from the get-go. So don't waste my time calling me in for a interview when you can clearly see on my CV what qualifications I have. So that was a bummer, and you know, I have mental health issues. I started seeing a new psychiatrist, got on new antidepressants and mood stabilizers, and it is the same meds that ADHD people get. So I hope that this can explain why I am sometimes in my weapon chats all over the place, because I get easily distracted. My thoughts are in a million places, and it's going to take some time for the meds to kick in. So I saw the psychiatrist now again last week, and he actually wants me to go see a neurologist because I have very hectic headaches that borders on migraines. I do actually think it's mild migraines, saying that I see specks of silver, my eyes water from the pain, and I really can't focus. So I got the first appointment with a new neurologist. I've never been to a neurologist. I've been to a neurosurgeon, not a neurologist. So it's somebody that looks at chronic, headaches and whatever. So I'm busy with that journey. That's my mental health. But now, in October, that just put me off with the interviewing, and my husband said maybe I should rest a bit, because he could probably see how that stressed me out and how furious I was. And then middle November, I think I rested a week or two. My mom got a heart attack. Okay, I suddenly stopped there because there was a knock at the door and I got 2 new packages. Okay, so we were at this one. I know that I don't have these colors, that's why I'm just putting them into baggies and not even checking. I do a lot of dark art diamond paintings, and this is the first very bright colored one that I have. So where was I? So yeah, my mom got a heart attack, and then I have this one. It was very dramatic for me. I think I spoke about that in the previous whip and chat. So yeah, she is stable. I argue with her a lot, telling her that she's doing too much. The doctor said that she must take things slow and easy because her heart got damaged, but we were quick enough to get her to ER, and that I could give blood thinners so that it didn't turn out fatal. And I lost my dad exactly 3 years ago at that point, and I told my mom in the ER room, because only one person was allowed in there while my husband sat in the waiting room, and I said to her, "You're not gonna do this to me, you're not gonna leave me alone." And yeah, so she's doing better, but she's way too busy in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell her specialist, because she's not taking it, how do you say, she's not, you know how somebody rather listens to a stranger than, I think a parent always sees their child, no matter if they're an adult, as a child. So I just wanted to hear from the doctors, listen, a second one may not be so lucky. I used some release papers because I had hectic static. Where am I gonna put this? I'm gonna put this in the tray, because I have a little bottle that I put them in, because you can reuse. So yeah, that happened, and she was in the hospital for a week for observation, and I'm at a point where then I had to start managing her medication, because the specialists and us, because I checked her medicine, that she stopped drinking her blood thinners, so that is what probably caused the heart attack. So now I'm not trusting what she tells me, that she takes the medicine. I ask her, I check that she takes it. Okay, I just want to show this. You get different dye batches, and this looks lighter than this, so I'm just gonna put this in a different baggie so that in the end I'm gonna see, well, which colors I like the most and which has, yeah, get a sort of a idea what color is better. So I'm just going to do that, put it separate for the time being. I'll show you now the difference. So if I look at that while I'm talking, that's the reason. Look at that. It's difficult to see on the camera, but take my word for it, this one is a darker shade than this one. And so yeah, then that was my November. Then December is a very difficult month for me because my dad and I shares the same birthday date. So both of us is 8 December and it's Christmas, and you know, it's that empty spot at the table and all of that. But I must say this year I started feeling, I didn't cry as much. Like, I'm starting to feel, I don't want to say better, you never get over that, but I think I'm starting to accept the fact that he's not there anymore. But then we heard the very big news that the house I inherited from my dad, finally, because it's been 2 years in the market, my mom wanted to stay there for like a while, so she stayed there for a year, and then we put the house in the market. And she, okay, that's that color. She said to me, it's fine, we can put the house in the market. And 2 years, and it's been finally purchased. And I am grateful because, okay, I have a lot of emotions with this. It's the house where I was the longest at growing up with my parents. A lot of my childhood memories are there, and everywhere I look at that house I see my dad. So it's emotional for me because it's difficult to let go, but also I don't want to go there anymore. I haven't been there this whole last year. It's a new year. I haven't been there. It's just too hard for me because, like I say, it's like he's haunting that house, like not literally, but I see him everywhere. Again, not literally. And I hope you know what I mean. So now I have to give that up, and I'm conflicted with my feelings because I'm emotional. I'm gonna cry, I know a lot. Like, I don't know if you watch Friends, that's one of my favorite comedy shows that I feel, even if it's old times, it's still so relatable, the topics and all of that. And the last episode where they had to give in their keys of the apartment, like, yeah, it's gonna feel like that to me. So we have a tentative move-in date of occupation for the new purchasers, and that is middle February. So I am stressed out because my husband has a full-time job and I'm sort of taking care of all the admin of the house, so I have to work. So this is my plan. I don't want, there's only a little bit that I want to keep for myself, because my mom and dad's style isn't my style. And let me just see, what color is this? I think it's this one. Sure, this is a bit difficult. I think it's this one. Their style is different. I mean, they are, well, my mom is in her 70s, so it's a different era. Though I do love vintage, but like vintage where you can, it suits with modern styles. And also I don't want to hoard. I'm now seeing having to pack up somebody else's house and stuff. It's difficult. It's my parents, but the things that you come across when you actually like start packing, there's so much, and I don't want to make that somebody else's burden one day. So I was thinking, first identify which pieces I want to keep for myself. And obviously my mom, I said to her, listen, she's staying with us at the moment because retirement villages are so expensive. I don't know where you are from, but yeah, they really take, I think they take advantage in a bad way with the people on pension, the retired people. So they don't get as much to that their pension or their retirement money covers everything. So we will have to financially contribute, and we can't do that at the moment. And also only my husband currently has a fixed job, so my mother is staying with us. And I had a relationship with my dad. I am my dad's child. I'm an only child. I'm a daughter. A daughter idolizes her dad, and yeah, I feel bad to say, but I don't have a big bond and relationship with my mom as I had with my dad. So that is also something that I'm working on. I feel like my new medication, the mood stabilizer, probably is helping me to keep the annoyance and irritation. She's very stubborn. My dad always like told her she's stubborn, like just stop and listen and take in, focus. Yeah, and now I'm finding myself saying the same things to her, and I don't feel good about that, but she starts crying. She's way softer than me and my dad. She starts crying easily, and she says like I'm too hard on her. So I'm trying my best, but that's also a stress point for me, is to build that relationship and be with her in the same house every day. And she doesn't want to take any decisions. My dad used to make all the decisions. When he was on his deathbed, I had to take all the decisions, so she didn't. And that's also something that caused my mental health breakdown, is that I have to live with all the decisions I took regarding him. And yeah, so again, I have to take all the decisions with this. It's her. I inherited everything, but it's her stuff, it's her house content. So I'm telling her, please, I don't care, like, don't worry about me. If there's something you love, keep it, because we designated one room. The older houses had like a dining room and sitting room or a lounge and all of that. We have a big open space where we have a 2-story house, and the kitchen is open. So you can make food, and you can talk and look at the TV and put music on, and if there's guests you can talk with them and all of that. Like, everything is open, and I like that. So my mom doesn't want to keep things, and I mean nothing, but I'm starting to read her a bit. And if I have like this thing where I have a keep it, throw it away, or it's going to the auction. Those three things. So we designated the dining room. All of the things we put in the dining room is what we're keeping. So I said to her, it doesn't matter if our house doesn't have enough space for things she wants to keep. It's her things, and choose what she wants. We can even rent like storage space, whatever. We can make a plan. No, she'll not be able to take everything with her to the old age home, and that makes me so angry when she says that, because I'm not going to put her in an old age home, but she grew up with that. My granddad was put in an old age home, and that's different. That's like where you're not on your own, you're sharing, it's like, yeah. I want to get her ideally in a retirement village where you have your own little apartment, and you have a little garden. You're even allowed a pet, and just some independency, because she can do that. But I want to know that there's people checking in. So with a retirement village, there's normally like a hairdresser in there. There's like there's buses taking the pensioners to go to town and go get groceries or whatever. Like, there's all sorts of facilities, and they do. What I like is that she'll be with people her own age, and currently she's cooped up here, and yeah, basically just have me and my husband to talk to. So then she'll be with her own age people, she can make friends, and they do all sorts of like things that they can take part in, like they craft together, or they play bingo, or all sorts of things. But we can't afford that yet. But she keeps like saying old age home, which is like this dark place that I remember with my granddad. And when he went in there, like it wasn't long before he was gone. So that's people that needs more like frailty care. Anyway, so she tells me she can't take anything with her when she goes to the old age home. As if I'll put my mom in an old age home, any case. So she refuses to take anything. So now I have to use my instincts to see what stories she tells. So I ask her, I prompt her like, so what is this? And she will tell me like, oh, this was her very first blah blah blah. She bought it for when she got married, or my dad gave this, it was very special, blah blah blah. And then I will say, okay, I want to keep that. And then I can see that her face lightens up a bit. Like, she doesn't want to say what she wants, but I now have to read that. Again, it's pressure on me. I don't want to give away things that's special to her, but she's not giving me any choice because she's refusing to do that. And then we now have to go basically we heard just before Christmas was already organized, figured out, like we bought everything and you know how we're gonna hold it, gifts, all of that, and then we heard this, so we decided to do Christmas at home and then we'll go after Christmas. So the 26th we packed and the 27th we drove there. It's a 4 to 5 hour drive and one way. And I have 2 Yorkies. I'm a Yorkie mommy, and Yorkies you don't leave at home, so they go everywhere you go. So it's like kids. The car is packed with more Yorkie toys and stuff than anything else. We hired a trailer and it's not that expensive. Per 24 hours you pay for it, and we hired it until my husband had to go back to work the 6th of January. So we were there and we just did what we could. Now this is like a week, and I mean that house is, my parents stayed there for like 30 years. There's a lot of things in there, and I told them this is not gonna be a fast thing. Like, you guys are underestimating this. We need to plan out more leave for my husband so that we can get all of this done. And I was right, and I said to them late in the week, my mom and my husband, I'm not gonna tell you I told you so, but make your own conclusion, because we were all stressing and we saw that this is not gonna be handled very quickly. And I don't know if they thought a week's time is gonna be enough. I knew it wasn't, but it wasn't. So now my husband is stuck with only being able to go on weekends. So now every weekend in January we are going to that house, doing that very long drive and having to pack, and very tired. We are all very tired. And then weekdays we are here. This weekend my husband works every second weekend, so this weekend he said now he really can't, because they make turns. They're 4 accountants and they make turns over December, January, when who takes leave. So unfortunately the guy that was waiting for my husband to return was on leave, so we couldn't go this weekend, so lost the weekend. Then we are going this weekend. He put in leave for Friday, I think, so we drive Friday. We get there like midday, we're tired from the drive, then we have to start packing. And Saturday there's a few people that already made appointments with me, because now also this is a small town, so what happens is word goes around fast that the house is being cleared, so people just come knocking at your door and ask, they want to see what you have and what they possibly can buy. Like, okay, it's nice and all, but we have limited time to pack, and now it's like we have to take them through the rooms and show them, you know, it's turning into a shop. The house is turning into a shop. But oh, I forgot the funnel. It's okay. But I heard a lot of people give me advice. Appreciate that, but sometimes the advice is just too much. So they say like it's better to sell things before you put it on auction, because with an auction you don't know what you're gonna get for it, and you have to pay commission to the auctioneer. Okay, fine. But you also take the risk that, let's take for example a chair. I asked the one guy that was in there, he goes to a lot of auctions, and he wanted this vintage chair. Now, he asked me, what do I want for it? And I'm like, I don't know, sir. Like, it's not as if I know how much things go for and how much you can ask for something. So I'm talking about a lot of the things are real wood. You know, you get a lot of like fake wood, I don't know how to say it, but you know, there's like yellow wood, oak wood, mahogany, emboya, all of that, and obviously it's more expensive, but then you have to take into account it's so old, there's a lot of chips, there's wear and tear, you know, all of that. So I'll ask him, okay, you're putting me on the spot, so I'm gonna put you in the spot, and don't bull me, but how would an auction work, for example, with this chair? And he said, oh, he doesn't know, it can, you know, like it's a bidding, like people go there and they're like, oh, 50 rands, it can be anything between 50 rands and 450 rands. I'm like, So yeah, it's, guys, and every time like somebody asks how much do we want for something, my mom looks to me and I must make the price. And then she would stand behind the person this one time. And I don't know what it was. It was like something big. It was my grandmom's. It's like this old vintage washing basin they had in the old days, but it's marble top and it has railings for the little towels, but it doesn't have the basin in it anymore. And then it's beautiful and it's carved and it has green tiles and all of that. So there's maybe some of you that would exactly know what I'm talking about. Now those things I googled, it goes like for a few thousand, like they are quite expensive. And everybody that walks in there wants that. And I'm like, no, sorry, I don't think you can afford it. Because I know, you know, it's local people. I know what they can and can't afford. So it's not my style, but I decided that things that are of higher value that we don't want, I'm not going to put it on at that local auction, because it's the same people that came to our house that's going to the auctions there. So I'll rather bring it to Cape Town where we stay and advertise it, or work with an auctioneer here that actually, like, there's vintage groups here, people like, you know, that likes to collect these things. So that is the plan. So there's a fourth option. Sorry, it is where it comes to auctioning, it is auctioning locally and auctioning in Cape Town. So 554, I don't think I have that. But my mom would stand behind this person, and I think it was for this basin, can't remember, let's just say it was for that. And she's showing me 4 fingers when the person asked me how much I want for it. And they obviously see that I look at my mother, and they turn around and she's like, 400. Now guys, the currency I'm talking about is South African rands, so it's not dollars. But she said 400 rands. Now that's very little. And I said to him, please don't listen to my mother. I'm the owner of this, and she doesn't know anything about prices. It's definitely not 400. You can put another 0 digit on there. If I let it go, it would be for 4,000. So they're like, oh no, sorry. But I mean, if it was up to my mom, like, she would give everything away for nothing. And the people there, like, I also think they're not intentionally manipulative, but they like, oh, yeah, but can we pay it off? We don't have that much money, we really want it. And I tell them, listen, I hear what you're saying, let's agree to a little less, but everything that is collected, all the money that they pay for stuff we're selling, I am putting in my mother's bank account and her savings. So all of this that you are asking me for lower prices is actually my mom's retirement funds. So I hear what you're saying, but it's a two-way street. So you know that this is much higher than what you're offering. And then they're like, okay. So I'm uncertain if most of the things that I've already gotten rid of, meaning sold, if they are also taking advantage of me because they know how much they can resell it for. And I'm talking about the people that goes a lot to the auctions, not the local people that actually needs a bed or needs like a closet, like not them. I can tell the difference, but I'm like, yeah, they're gonna resell it for way more. But again, it is cash that we immediately get, and no commissions and deductions of that. But all of that is on my shoulders. And I just want to tell you that's why it's much easier for me at this point to make like unboxing videos and things that's factual. To do weapon chats and tell you what's going on, how stressed I am. And that so much rests on my shoulders. It's difficult for me to sometimes I struggle getting out of bed. So I do contract work for compliance at the moment. So I'm not just lazing around with nothing to do. I'm a very ambitious person. And there's so many things going through my mind. I've told you in previous weapon chats, like there's so many ideas I have of what I want to do with my life going forward, career-wise. But now all of this is happening, like every month since I resigned. Now, I don't know, do you guys believe in providence? Like everything happens for a reason. My mom always told me everything happens for a reason, and I'm wondering now, like, this quitting without having another job, all of this, like, if I wasn't here when all of these things happened, like, now I have the time to sort things out and, all of that. Like, I don't know how I would have been able to do it if I was working full-time for a boss, because my previous boss, the policy was no cell phones. So that was also a problem for me, and one of the reasons I left, because I said to them in the interview, I don't have kids, but I have an elderly mother that stays at home. There's nobody to go check on her. I have a camera set up in the house so that I can just like check she's okay. And it's linked to my phone, and I want to be able to check on her. That's very quick, and also if she calls, I'm going to answer the phone. I'm very sorry. And the CEO calls us on our phones, and he craps you out if you don't answer. So this I don't understand. That is like just blew my mind. It's just one of the things of poor management there, I thought, like, because I was also in management, and I understand like certain things, certain positions, you have to give your full attention, whatever. And I also gave my full attention, but I mean, you can allow people in higher positions, certain things like that. And I'm not an abuser of my phone. People get angry at me when I don't answer them immediately. I am not a person that checks my phone the whole time, and I've always told people my phone is not going to tell me what to do. I will look at it when I want to. So yeah, and like I said, it's difficult with my mom. We're starting to get along better, being in the house together, but she's still a stress point for me as well. And this is a time where I need sometimes quiet time, alone time to like do the contract work I do, but also, you know, what I want to do going forward. And I think I want to maybe study further or go into a full-time position again. I'm not sure yet, but I can't do that while she's here and nobody is here to look after. So with the house being sold, it's helping us so much with financial stress, because my husband and I was stressing about that as well, like financially, to pay the levies of, what is this DMC code now, 740, to pay the levies of that house that I inherited, to maintain its garden, have garden services. It's a lot. And there was actually somebody squatting there. Yeah, I was really shocked when I heard that, because the house is, you know, closed and there's nobody there, so obviously it's easy. I've always thought of that house as being a safe place, but yeah, with smaller towns here, there's a lot of beggars, a lot of people unemployed, and when they're unemployed they start stealing. I'm not stereotyping now, there's some good people that wants to work for money, but there was people that took advantage of my mom, and they started following her from the grocer to her house, and not just the gate, like right behind her, where she had to unlock the door. And sometimes she would call me at night saying she hears something, she thinks there's somebody in the house, something fell and crashed or whatever. And then I'm on the other side of the line, like 400 kilometers away, and there's nothing I can do except call for the police. But yeah, police aren't always that fast in the small towns as well. It's not like America and all of that. You can read up on all of our government systems and yeah, it's not like America. So that stressed me out, and that's why I said to my mom, she's coming to stay with us now. She can't stay there on her own anymore. There's just a GP there, there's no specialist, no, the hospital there is like you have to stand in a queue. Something happened now badly, but you now have to like wait your turn. While here in Cape Town there's a few like really good, we call it mediclinics. It's private, it's really good, and they acted so fast with my mom's heart attack. So if it wasn't for that, if she was in that small town when that happened, I think I would have been an orphan now. So yeah, that's all of the things that's going on in my mind. And with my mom, yeah, I have to constantly check that she's taking a medication, that I sit with her when she like puts all her meds in. Like I got her this pill organizer, like morning and evening, and then I count the pills. I look at how she puts it in, if she puts it in the right slots, and then I will will count it and make sure that everything is there. So I don't know how I would have been able to do this with a full-time job, honestly. And until my mom can't go to a retirement village where there's nurses and people in the village 24/7, there's doctors and nurses and checking in and all of that, I can't go and work full-time away from the house. I need to do part-time work, but like I said, and work remotely. Well, yeah. So financially, that was a big stress for me and my husband as well, but with the house selling now and the contents and all of that, it's really helping our own mortgage on our house that we bought in 2022. And he said it's actually now fine. We can live off his salary and my mom's pension, because she is staying with us permanently. So there's always a little bit left behind, so we do put it in the savings. We have to manage her bank accounts and all of that. Yeah, but in the end, when we do get something for her, then we will take it out of our mortgage, because we have a flexi account that you can take what you need. So everything that my mom is contributing, like the house selling, well, the house is mine, but I will give that back to my mom and make sure that she has, not give back to her, but I mean like get her a nice place and all of that. But it's not possible at the moment, but at least the financial burden is lessened. But I would still, I'm not somebody that can sit still, and it bothers me that I am not really working at the moment. I've never wanted to be a housewife. I have too many qualifications. I have 2 degrees, and yeah, it's difficult for me to not. My dad paid a lot for that. I came across notes of his, and it made me cry when I saw like how he would write letters to the uni and ask them, the university, and ask them to please give me a loan. He sent his pension statement and showed what he got and all of that. So he made a lot of sacrifices for me to go to university, and he couldn't. He had a very hard time growing up as a child, and I'm starting to see everything now with what we're packing up. I can see how difficult it was for him, and I have so much respect for him. And it's stuff that, he never told me. You don't want to stress out your loved ones, your children, but I wish he did tell me. Just especially when I was older, so that I don't have to figure all of these things out as I go along, and that he could have guided and helped me, because I don't have anybody to do that for me. I have to figure everything out myself. I think there's nobody else like my dad, and everyone will say that everyone is unique, but my dad was like a very, very intelligent, very logical thinker, and applying your mind, like if there's a problem, how can I practically solve it very quickly? And that's one thing that I pride myself that I observed from my dad, and that I can do. But you don't get that, and that's why I'm the decision maker, I guess, in the household and the family. But you don't get that from a lot of people, and I wish I had that. And again, there's nobody that I came across that has those capabilities like my dad. So I'll get there. I think I'm growing, but I just need to get my mental health in order as well. And here in South Africa, if you say mental health to an employer, it is held against you. It really is. People here are very conservative and they don't see mental health as a genuine illness or disease. And I've seen it with all my employers I've been. Like, it is regulated in the medical council and all of that it is an illness, but I've always been in management or HR and had to fight for the employees that genuinely has mental health issues and sometimes just need an off day. If they have the leave, then it can be sick leave or whatever. And that's also something that I don't agree with. But as long as I always ask that, I ask there, as long as you manage or try and maintain it. So what I would do is ask the employees to get a letter from their doctor, medical practitioner, psychiatrist, whatever, and confidential, just put it on the employee file that they are not chancers. This is actually real, because that's what they do with people with migraines. Actually, at one of my previous firms I worked at, they let one of the managers, like, her leave was already depleted. I know that because I was working with the leave, and they just kept like saying, yeah, it's fine. She says, like, I have a migraine. They're like, yeah, it's fine. And I said, but I want a letter, because I was HR manager, I want a letter on her employee file that she actually does suffer from migraines. But later, that was obviously denied. But later I saw some psychologist letters. So she was struggling with mental health, which can also give headaches, not necessarily migraines. But again, if you're being honest with me, then I can help you and keep it in law, and so that nobody comes after you. But don't lie to me, and then I can't help you. So that is something in South Africa. It's still very conservative. Employers look down on you. If you mention you sometimes have to go see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, I mean, that's actually a good thing, because you're showing that you're managing your illness and not just doing nothing about it. So that's just difficult things in South Africa, and that I am thinking that I should not work full-time for an employer again, but rather just do my own thing, as it is my dream to have my own company, my own business one day, and to just start with that. But that takes a lot of brain power, focus, that I don't have at the moment. But I have ADHD, so I just need to get that under control and be able to focus and start making plans and start a business. It's not that easy. You need to really commit, and at the moment I'm struggling with that. So I don't know, I'm telling you this because there's people, I find that people like to relate. I like to relate. I don't want to feel alone. And if this relates to you, let me know. It's nice to know we're not alone. And I just need to get my mind space ready. And I sometimes think my husband doesn't always understand why I can't get out of bed, why I'm taking so much pain medication for my headaches. And I know these things are all like linked, the stress and so on, with what's happening at the moment, because it's definitely worse now. But this is something I've had for my whole life. It's just getting worse now, because I've come across old articles and notes of my dad where he wrote in his handwriting, shows Steph for headaches, symptoms, what you can do, cure some homeopathic like ways to look at your headache relief. So I mean, that's before my dad's passing. So if people tell me that, oh, your headaches and these things like is just your body's way of telling you, like, you're not over your dad's death, it's stress and blah blah blah, like, it's not since my dad's death, it's always been there. It's just now worse, and I need to do something about it, because I need my focus now, and I can't focus at the moment. So that is where I am at this point. So we're going this coming weekend, like I said, back to back, and then we're gonna go there after that every weekend. I'm gonna do this my last container for this video, then I'm gonna go on getting down, and then this will be empty and I can use it for the next one that we're gonna unbox and see what it is. Ooh. So guys, I hope that you are all doing well. You must have a great day, evening, wherever you are and what time it is when you're watching this, and thank you so much for being here. My hobbies, my diamond painting, that really helps me. It is therapeutic and I love that. So I believe that if you're looking at this, you probably also agree with that. So guys, I'm gonna love and leave you, and thank you so much. Bye guys, love you loads. Mwah.